The following is the extract of a course linked in the description.
Hey guys, thank you for joining me in this new video. The last one that we did was on compressor, and today what we're gonna look at is how to apply additional effects, primarily reverb, chorus, delay. I would say those are like the salt and pepper that you to some spice that you add there in your track. Okay. So to do that, usually what's gonna happen is you will go ahead and create a sand track over here. With FS Studio, it's pretty easy to do that. Actually, back in the days with the first version of FS Studio, they were only giving you about 4 tracks that were there that were sand tracks, and those tracks weren't you could not move it. But now anything can actually be a sand track. So you will just come up here and you will come to dog 2 and you will say dog 2 right, and it's gonna move up here and you can consider it now as a soundtrack. You can go over there and assign an FX to a plugin to this one. Okay, so this one I'm just gonna move it back to the middle right now. The reason why we call it soundtracks is because we're gonna be routing some of the sounds that we have here to those soundtracks over here. There are about 2 3 reasons why we want to do it. The first one would be that if you have one given let's say one given reverb, it makes it in a way that all the instruments are all playing in the same environment, right? So instead of having like a preset over here, a reverb here with a given preset that has a lot of echoes, another one that has like a different type of echo, there is no congruency there, right? So you want to have it all in all with the same type of preset for congruency. The second reason that will be there will be for resources. If you go ahead and use all the different, if you go ahead and try to add a reverb to all the different tracks over here, is going to be using a lot of resources, right? So by adding it just by one cent track over here, you being more efficient with the resources that you're using. So let me just show you. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to look for one of the reverbs of Arturia, right? So I'm just going to go with this one over here, and you're gonna see we're gonna move forward. So if you paid attention, let me see if I turn this up. So we're moving from about 9 and we're going all the way to about 15 over here. Just that's just with one plugin. Let's move over here to the kick. We do about the same again. I'm just gonna go over here, rev. We are about 17 now, right? And let's go over here and let's assign it again to the snare, and over here we're probably gonna get to about probably 20 or something. And most of the time as well, if it's when we play those instruments that they usually start to really use the power. When they're in a hidden position like that, they use power but not that much. So you see over here, now we're about 25. We're about four of those reverbs, right? So it's more efficient for you to use them all in just more, just to have them added in one track and to send the sound of those tracks over here to this one. So that's the second reason that you will use the send track. You could also go ahead and definitely add it directly to a track, and usually I will do that if I know a given preset that I want to use, but most of the time just for congruency um, and to be a little bit more efficient on the resources there, on the power, I'm just gonna have it here, right? So the way we do that, so over here, when we're gonna play that, what you're gonna see in this track over here, oh, the other thing as well that I want to show you is most of the time, all of the plugins of FL Studio are very efficient with the power, and I probably have mentioned in the past. So if I come up here and select again the reverb that we had there, what I'm doing. So if I just select that reverb again, and I come up here and I'm going to freeze this, you're gonna see that the ref plate, so that's the one that I have here, right, is already using about 10% of my resources there. But if I look for the free river, we still I have two over here that have been loaded, but I'm still at 0%, right? So that will be that's just to show you again that a lot of the if you maybe um, you have issues with the resources that you have, just stick to the FS Studio plugins. You're gonna do just fine, right? So over here, what I have loaded. Um, I have about 5 tracks over here. I have one track over here, same track with a reverb, and usually that reverb, the preset that I'm setting here, um, because you see over here it said drums. I'm gonna assign drums to that one, and usually that is snare, hi hat, shakers. I don't put reverb on my kick, but snare, hi hat, shakers, the open hat, those kind of things. I might put a little bit of reverb here, but uh, that reverb is just very subtle, right? It's not too much. It's not gonna be in the big room. It's just small reverb, just to make it ring a little bit more. It will be different than this one. This is where I'm gonna route most of my instruments, and that reverb will be a little bit. I'm gonna try to emulate a bigger room, right? And over here I have a delay, I have a chorus, and over here um, I have just the basic delay that comes with FS Studio. It works well. A lot of them pretty much just do the same thing. I have the vintage chorus over here that I have loaded. This is an emulation of the chorus of the Juno, and over here I have the flanger. And I would say the chorus and the flanger, because they are modulation, right? I don't use them that much here and there, but the ones that I will be using more will be reverb, delay, and maybe sometimes a little bit of distortion as well. Okay, so the way we do that is really simple. If I come up here and let's say that was just doing the drums over here. So for the snare, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring the snare over here to this track over here, and right away you can feel that we have a sound of a snare there, right? But this is too much, right? So I'm gonna bring it down just like this, right? So makes a little bit of difference. This is without any reverb, and with a little bit of added reverb, and it's up to you. You listen and depending on what you're looking for, right? And what I'm gonna do next, so this is just for really quickly for the drums. So this is all we add over here. If I go back to the main sound over here, this one as well, I'm gonna route it to this track over here. So I'm gonna select this, but too much reverb, right? So I'm just gonna bring it back a little bit here, right? So that is very easy, and that's how you can go really quickly and add reverb to the different tracks that we have here. Really quickly, you can go ahead and assign them here. So this is what I would recommend. Go ahead and do that. And the next one over here, we have some delay. Actually, with the delay, I'm gonna do another video that's gonna deal. We're gonna look at a little bit more delayed and distortion, because sometimes the delay, depending on how that instrument is playing, right, the notes, you might not want to have the same delay uh, you know assigned to it, right? But if I just want a global delay, something that is just there, I could probably just link it here. But again, depending on the notes that is playing, that delay might not be the proper one for that specific melody. But this is basically what you will do. So you will just come up here, listen to the song, and try to assign it either to the reverb if you want to, or either to the delay if you want to, or to the chorus, and you listen to the level and just adjust it the way you want it. right? So I will let you do that. Go ahead and assign it. I do not have my proper headphones, so I find it's a little bit hard for me to select the right level. So I'm going to do that a little bit later. But when we're going to come back, we're going to look at just the other way that we assign the effects on a given track. So this one is for general purpose. If you really quickly want to have it here again for congruency, to have a set of instrument playing in the same space, but as well to be power efficient. But it could be if you have a given preset, or you want to modify things, or you want things to be a little bit unique, you're going to use a given instrument for a given track, and I'm going to show you that in the next video.